Excellencies, friends, it is great to be finally able to speak to you in person about human rights defenders after 2.5 years in this mandate. Human rights defenders are ordinary people who work peacefully to protect the rights of others, in accordance with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other international standards. They are motivated by human rights and not politics. They simply work against injustice when they see it, and they deserve equal treatment. Please note it is beyond my mandate to look at the broader issue of migration, refugees and the right to asylum. Today I bring to you my latest report on those who are peacefully protecting the rights of migrants, refugees and asylum seekers. The report is called Refusing to Turn Away and details information gathered from across the world from credible sources on the situation of defenders who are helping those often most in need. During the period from the 1st of January 2020 to today, I sent 39 communications concerning the situation of human rights defenders working on these issues, and the communications were addressed to 22 countries in total. I remember a time when being kind to people was seen as a good thing. Now on every continent, I see people being attacked and targeted for helping those in need, for bringing food and medicine and water to people who are freezing in forests and dehydrating in deserts. I've heard from people in many countries targeted for their work, helping migrants. People in Libya told me how they were attacked and tortured for trying to help others, prevented by their government from visiting detained migrants, abused at detention centres, and threatened by human trafficker gangs. Pastor Lorenzo Ortiz is a Baptist pastor and human rights defender assisting migrants on the US-Mexico border, providing them with food and shelter. In June, he was kidnapped and held by members of a local cartel who threatened to kill him and his family. This month, the cartel closed the shelters that Mr. Ortiz manages and started pursuing him again. Due to the prompt action of the Mexican National Guard and Army, he was released, and I thank Mexico and encourage them to continue this work with other cases. My report is about people who don't ignore what's happening, sometimes on their doorsteps to migrants, asylum seekers and refugees, and how they help. And my report also details how they risk being prosecuted, even jailed, for giving this help. These people are human rights defenders, peacefully supporting the rights of others. UN states have promised to protect human rights defenders and mandated me to advise them on how to better do this. My advice is to put a stop to jailing, smearing, deporting, kidnapping, and physically attacking those who are helping refugees, migrants, and asylum seekers. Some of these defenders are lawyers who are providing legal advice. Some are doctors and nurses who are providing medical help. Some are journalists who are reporting. Others are those who just see people at the end of their garden, hungry people, and give them soup. Many take great personal risks and are accused of being people smugglers, foreign agents, traffickers, and terrorists. Government authorities, violent extremists, and organised criminal gangs attack them. I've heard from many people living close to various sea and land borders who have decided at enormous risk to themselves to defend the rights of others. States ought to commend, not vilify and target them. There is an enormous double standard here. People who are helping refugees from Ukraine are rightly lauded for their great work, but those helping refugees from other places are attacked. I have heard from defenders in Poland who have been targeted for helping people in need near the Belarus border. In a submission for my report, the Commissioner for Human Rights in the Republic of Poland said the Polish government has done little to support and protect human rights defenders involved in response to this crisis. In fact, legislative and material actions taken by the government suggest that the aim was to discourage them from involvement in assistance to irregular migrants. Migrants who help other migrants face increased risks. Some jeopardize their own legal status in a country by helping others and are particularly vulnerable to attack. They need to be a particular focus of attention. One glimmer of good news in all of this is that in some states, courts are throwing out cases brought by the authorities. We have seen defenders acquitted in France, Germany, Poland, and the USA. In Italy this year, a case was dismissed against human rights defenders who'd helped migrants because the judge decided the crime was non-existent. Yet, the baseless prosecution of human rights defenders, such as the Juventus crew and others, involved in search and rescue is continuing. But people acting in solidarity with others shouldn't have to rely on the courts to protect them. And remember, even for defenders who are eventually exonerated and vindicated, court cases can be long, they can be stressful and expensive experiences. More than 20 years ago, the first mandate holder told states that defenders who seek to protect the rights of marginalized groups are more vulnerable and therefore more threatened. These include defenders of the rights of displaced persons, migrants, and refugees. But despite these issues and recommendations being regularly raised with states, including reminders of their obligations to protect defenders working on these issues, attacks continue. I am mandated to recommend effective strategies to better protect human rights defenders, and one simple piece of advice is to put a stop to targeting them for peacefully assisting those in need. Targeting them for peacefully assisting those in need exposes states' lack of resolve to fulfill their standards and they have committed to uphold, and raises significant concerns about their intentions to abide by these standards that they have ratified. And I hope I can talk to you all about this. Let's meet and talk about how solidarity should never be punished, how compassion is not a crime, and how we can work together to make kindness something to celebrate again. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias a la relatora especial.